Oberon is now in the game. People have been waiting for this for a long time. He is pretty much a must summon. And the craziest part about this, I did not think they would actually have Bitch and Oberon overlap. I did not think they'd actually do this. This is actually like ridiculously crazy. If you summon, like, today is the day you're summoning for Oberon. His Vitch's banner is going away soon. If you manage to snipe Oberon, go for Vitch. Your account is going to be pretty much set for the next year. Like, this is some crazy. I thought they wouldn't give us the choice. I thought they wouldn't. I'm like 99% sure JP did not get this. So they are truly giving NA the best deal. If you have not pulled Vitch, she will get a lot of value from you having Oberon. Because most Buster Servants can't farm unless you have Oberon. Most of them. For Buster Servants, they need at least 10% battery. Then you can do double Oberon. If they have 30, you can do double Vitch Oberon. And anything above that, or yeah, anything above 50, they can either do Black Rail or they don't need Oberon at all. But yeah, he is integral to letting all of your AOE servants actually do the farming for themselves instead of staying in the back line, not really doing anything. So let us get started. First off, Pretender class. What is it? Pretenders are the opposite of an alter ego. They do 1.5 times damage against Knight class servants, your Sabers, Lancers, and Archers. They do less damage to the Cavalry. They take normal damage from those classes, all the main classes except Berserkers, obviously. And what else? You bring them to counter alter egos. In January, we're gonna get a single target arts pretender, Hephaestion. She is very good for taking out alter egos. She goes very fast and she has a super big battery too. She's fun to use. But that's for the future. We're talking about Oberon now. He is a support, but he can also do the farming. Very, very similar to Vitch in that nature. Base attack 11.8k. It's normal for a 5-star. There's not really comparison to do it for pretenders, because most of them are like low rarity, or like he's the only like farmer, I'm pretty sure. He's the only one that can actually do farming well. Yeah. Well, no, I take that back. She can do farming well. It's just hers is scuffed unless you get your penned. Hers, a pretty similar situation. Not a farmer or support. Single target. He can do the farming. Base modifier 1.0. Base Sergeant of 20%. So you want them to have good quick parts. They naturally have good star gen, which is good. And they have normal Knight class star weight. HP, it's on the low side. This is on the low side. I don't have much experience with like Oberon like staying on the field longer than he has to. Usually most of the fights are like over when it's time for this guy to come out. But yeah, it's on the low side. If you mess up, you're gonna be feeling this low HP. You will be feeling it. Star weight, especially because he's not resistant to anything except alter egos. He's taking normal damage, so he'll take a normal damage crit. It's unfortunate. Star weight, star gen, like I said. MP charge 0.59%. I'm gonna be honest, most of the time you're not worried about face card gen because he's a Buster Servant. They kind of don't care about refund. They just like brute force it, have enough battery to finish the node regardless of if they're doing face cards or not. He is chaotic evil, so Domin synergy if you want to use him as the main DPS. But there's an issue with trying to use Oberon as main DPS because his MP kind of screws that up. It's good for a different reason, but treating Oberon like a normal like servant to do like farming is gonna be kind of awkward if you do not kill. If you do not kill, you are going to be screwed. Your runtime is going to be so screwed on with using him. So that's why most people stick to using him as a support. It's because it greatly screws with runtime. If you try to do him as main DPS. Really good quick guards for hits with a 20.5 star gen. Like, this is double night class. These are really good quick cards. These are pretty almost like an assassin's quick cards. So whether he's dropping the stars with his skill or with his face cards, he can drop stars. Upstairs, nothing super amazing. Like the pretender star gen is nice. The hit counts here is nice. Like all the hit counts are nice, but it's not like he's mostly a support. So like upstairs wouldn't really show that much about what he's capable of. First skill. This is your low. I don't want to say it's your lowest priority, but when you're leveling Oberon, do not focus on this skill. Don't focus on getting the battery, because at base, he's a 50% charger. As long as you have both skills unlocked, he's 50%. This skill, much like Merlin's, does not level charge the more you level it. If you need to save the mats to either get his third skill up or the first skill to get his battery, don't level this skill. You are wasting your mats the same way you would be if you were trying to level Merlin's skill for his battery, his first skill. If you only care about the battery, don't worry about the skill. Treat it for later. It's gonna help with the scaling 100%. You're gonna need to level this eventually, but it's the least priority in the grand scheme of things. This is gonna least impact your damage or your farming. It's static 20 to 30 MP damage on a 5 turn. It's very strong. This is a very strong skill. Like, think this is Tamamo's first skill, but instead of draining, it's a battery for the entire party. Tamamo actually could use like an AoE charge. Like, it doesn't even have to be like something big. Just give her a little something. Like, even charge per turn, I will greatly take, because that means you can double stack that shit. Ooh, give her like, if she got like 5 turns and 10% charge to the party. No, they're not. They wouldn't. But like 3 turns 10. I will gladly take 3 turns 10, and Tamo would feel so much better. But yeah, this is to set up. This is to give him his party like an MP damage boost that he can boost. We'll get into that in a second. Second skill. This is the targetable 50% battery. So 20 plus 50 is 70, in case you guys need some math. I am a teacher, so I have to go over that a lot for my kids. And I know how people hate math. I know it. I know they see numbers on the screen. Sorry, and they just check out. But yeah, 50% battery targeted. You need this for any servant that has a 30% battery. If you want them to farm, you need this maxed out. You don't need this maxed out, but it is, this part is gonna affect this one. After the turn's over, you lose 20 gauge. This is only an issue if the servant is an Artoria face that regens off face cards. Or let me be more specific. If you are farming, this is only going to come up if you're an Arts or Quick Looper. If you're not, this isn't going to matter, because you're most likely going to already be at 0. In a challenge quest, that's different, because you're doing face cards after the MP. Doing some kind of buster crits, mighty chain, whatever. You might have refund. This is going to drain it. So you either save this for the last turn of the farming node, or I've seen people put this on Castoria's to get her to MP at like a quick time, because and this drain part is kind of crippling on a DPS, and sometimes you just need that other support to MP. In challenge quests, that's what you can do. In farming, you can just treat this as a 70. Also, 20 star bomb. Very, very nice. Buster always likes having stars. Vitch makes having stars very, very nice. And the third skill. He gives Buster up, but remember, this is only for 1 turn. MP damage can come from a lot of other sources. It's not art specific. He doubles your MP damage. Whatever total you have, he doubles it. From skills, from craft distances, from mysticodes, all of it. So if you have Black Rail on 2000, and you have 2000 fragments of 2004, you pop this skill, all that MP damage is getting doubled. All of it. This is the biggest buff in the game. There is no contest. This ramps up damage more than anything else in the game. It's why they had to start balancing the game around him. He just started making things too easy. The damage numbers just went way up. They're like, as long as you can break the first few bars, you're good, because the last bars are always the hardest. So it would make sense that you bring him in last and just like nuke it. After the turn you MP with this skill active, it is going to completely brick your unit. You can't use it for the rest of the run as long as you don't revive. If you revive, you're good. Don't worry, you get a fresh start, and then you can pull this shit again. But that's only if you fail, because most of the time, if you're doing this, you're probably going to kill unless you screw up. This is actually a crippling thing in all of your farming. If you mess this up, your run is screwed. Like, I have seen this, like, doing money farming, that I just, like, put this accidentally on the wrong unit, and it's not going to be a fun time. The run goes so slow. You have to... It's especially crippling in farming because the enemies that you're fighting aren't going to be doing enough damage. You're going to be left with your supports out and your DPS bricked, unable to do anything, and just taking up space on the field. There are cards still going in the rotation, messing up your chains. Yeah, like, the only way to get rid of them is for them to die. And after the 3 turns are up where they're taunted, you're shit out of luck. You better hope the enemy MPs and wipes them out. Otherwise, you're in for a long fight. And you better hope your supports in the back line aren't just like level 1s that you're bond point farming. Otherwise, you just wasted your AP completely. And your time. That's a bit, yeah, that's the big thing. You wasted your AP and you wasted your time. Over a misclick. It sucks, but like, Oberon is a character where if you mess up, there's so much user error. I'm someone that fucks up a lot when I'm doing runs. I mess up all the time because I'm too impatient. This for me is kind of the reason you don't see me using Oberon, because I'm not trying to like literally look like a dumbass on stream. But it happens. It happens all the time. Yesterday, I was really salty doing Turnanos. Because, like, my mouth is literally... I was literally tasting blood in my mouth because I got my teeth cleaned. So, like, I was clenching my teeth, getting upset at myself for not getting this done. And I actually, like, made it... I actually spiraled down. And I didn't even have Oberon for that. That was just user error for me popping skills in the wrong order. Me not knowing my team well enough. This can be infuriating. But yeah, 100% here, double. 50% Buster for 1 turn. And the buffs are going away at the end of the turn, so it doesn't really matter. In addition, there is only so much of a card buff you can get before you start not seeing the number go up as much. What I mean is, in a Buster system, this 50% Buster isn't going to be as impactful as you think if you're doing double Vitch. If you're doing double Oberon, that's a different story. You need the Buster. But for double Vitch, because your Vitch is giving 100% Buster, And then whoever the DPS is, if they're stacking if they're double stacking their skills and they get 2 buster buffs, that you probably have like 200% buster. It's 50, it's gonna be nice, but it's not that impactful. While everyone will notice a difference in their MP damage if they're running Black Rail. Taking 80% and making it 160 is a huge jump. That is a huge jump, and that's only the start of it. That's just from Black Rail alone. On his first skill, 30% MP damage goes up to 60. Now your Black Rail is going from 160 damage, or your unit's MP damage is going from 160 to 240. And that's not even taking into account your Mystic Code. Like, we get a new plug suit that has MP damage on it in December. If a unit scales with MP damage, like they have MP damage ramp up, say Space Ishtar, for example, who also can function in buster systems. You can use her as a buster farmer too. That what 60? That 60 is gonna jump up again. So yeah, it depends on the unit how impactful Oberon is. It truly depends on the unit, but like, as long as the unit can run Black Rail or a CE that has MP damage on it, like Heaven's Field as well, you're gonna see a dramatic jump in damage. And again, he gives you MP damage, so even if you're not running Black Rail, even if you're not using a servant that scales with MP damage, you are still gonna see like a difference in your numbers from turn 1 to turn 3, no matter what. Passive skills. I'm gonna leave some of this stuff up. Also, I know in the thumbnail I have Oberon in his like final ascension. I don't want to get too into that though, because I haven't beaten Lostbelt 6 yet. By the time this video goes up, you guys, I'll probably be summoning for Oberon myself. So if you guys want to watch the suffering, see how bad this is gonna take, because this is gonna be my first time summoning for Oberon, check on YouTube, because I'm probably gonna be streaming. So first skill, or first passive, increases party debuff success rate against enemies except foreigners while he's on the field. Nice. 500 chance to reduce the buff success rate of Merlin allies by 20% while he's on the field. You cannot run Merlin and Oberon at the same time. He fucks with Merlin shit so hard. Hard. You do not use these two together. Ever. Or not ever, but like you're really taking a big risk if you're using Merlin and Oberon together. Really. Territory creation E minus 1.5 arts buff. Territory item construction A plus, debuff success rate 11%. This stuff is for his MP. The debuff success rate from this passive and item construction comes for his MP. It's not his skills. It's not an increased chance to debuff your allies. That's not what this is. That's not what this is supposed to mean. Riding A for 10% quick. He has fairly good quick guards. And the passive that I probably hate the fucking most. He is immune to mental debuffs. So no charm, no sleep. It says eternal sleep, but he can, because it's got the box on it. It doesn't give a shit about anything else. I also learned that while fighting Kernos, that debuff immunity doesn't do shit about the skill seal on the first bar break. Oh shit. There's a hint. There's a hint. Be prepared to not do normal setup with Kernos. Curse debuff immunity. I fucking hate this so goddamn much, chat. You do not understand how tilted I was getting at the Oberon fight because of this passive. Because on JP, the only foreigner I had that could relatively do this comfortably was Jacques de Malay. Her kit relies on cursing the enemy. He can't be cursed. She gets no power mod. She's not doing the damage she should. I hate this part of the passive, but I get why it's there, and that's what fucking sucks. Fucking sucks. Pen skills. Get the mana loading. Simple as that. Get mana loading. I treat him as a support primarily, but he actually can black rail loop. I did not realize that. So him starting with an extra 20% probably is going to be pretty good for him. He probably will scale very well. Or not scale very well. He'll probably, like, the mana loading probably is going to allow him to do the black rail in the first place. Sorry, my bad. NP. 4-hit buster AOE. Removes offensive buffs, so similar to Muramasa. Then he puts them to sleep, and then he gives him invul for a turn. Also power mod against lawful, or not power mod, super effective damage against lawful alignment enemies. Some people think the invul is a demerit. It is not. The invul is there so that the sleep is not disturbed. Because unlike a stun, a sleep, if you hit someone, they wake up. So they're gonna start hitting you next turn. If you put an invul on them, they don't take damage, so they don't wake up. So then it's basically your turn immediately after. Oberon is actually really good at stalling for this reason. If he can loop his MP effectively, he can indefinitely like stall a unit. Very similar to Kama, and unlike Kama, his is guaranteed. Kama's is an 80% chance. This is pretty much guaranteed. You have to fight off magic resist stuff, but most of the time you're putting your enemy to sleep. Unfortunately, unlike Kama, he is not a quick unit. He does not have regen, and again, unlike Kama, she's able to actually refund and get crit refund off of after the MP. Because you're involing, you technically, I'm pretty sure it doesn't count as a crit, so you're not getting the better regen. And even if you do crit, you're not doing damage to the enemy. So a lot of the times they're encouraged buster MP with Oberon, which is weird. Or you run an invul pure CE, and then you're kind of like, there is no stall. Then you can't stall it. Mats. Some of these come from the lotto. I believe this and this come from the lottery. I am going to be stuck on here. I'm going to be stuck on ascending Oberon because of these two. It sucks, but I gotta wait for the lottery. So my Oberon won't be doing too much. Matt's not too bad. You do need these, but you need so many for Melisson. Like, I don't think people are gonna mind that much. These a lot more common, but also, I mean, yeah, these are more common mats. You probably have them, but they're also commonly used. So just be careful. Bond CE increases party damage against lawful alignment allies by 20% while he's on the field. Oberon is not even borderline. He is pretty much a must summon. When the game is scaled around a unit, you know you need to get the unit. Castoria is, he's not better than Castoria, because Castoria can do so many different things and doesn't have a downside like that. Her downside is that she does not have healing, and that's it. Oberon has a lot of actual downsides, like his MP damage. If you're using servants that don't rely on MP damage, he's pretty much useless. Like, you can't use Oberon with Super Orion. Like, there really isn't a point to that. Like, what? The Super Orion gets the buster buff and then he gets bricked? For what? He can't multiply his MP damage. He's not the be-all solution to every encounter, but he's the be-all solution for most encounters and servants. He fixes so many fixes the issues of a lot of servants just by him existing. Sorry. This is the first time I'm actually summoning for Oberon seriously. I got him from a GSSR, and I half-assed summoning for him on my alt account back when he went on Raid Up. I am truly afraid that this is going to be another pity. I will be through the fucking moon if this guy comes home early and I don't have to worry about summoning for him, because from talks I've had with people and learning more about Fate, I don't hate this character as much as I thought I did. He did not deserve the distaste I had for him, because it wasn't who I was it's not who the distaste was aimed at. I'm not gonna give spoilers to the story, but just know everyone has, and this is his own words pretty much, everyone has their own roles to play. Everyone has a role to play. Whether you choosing that role or it's put on you, you have to perform the role to your best of you have to perform the role to the best of your ability. Otherwise, what's the point of even doing it? I will see you guys hopefully with me to quote I don't want to say who the final boss is for Lostbelt 6. People can kind of probably already know, but I don't want to actually say it. But yeah, I'm gonna enjoy kicking Kurnos around, and then I'll summon for him. I'm not summoning for him until I have a trot. Lostbelt 6 is completely done. I'll see you guys later today. Peace. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like or sub. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.